Well, today we've got this interesting piece. It's a grinder. 9-inch Makita angle grinder, takes 2 batteries. As I just demonstrated, it's going perfectly well. However, this one has an issue. It's got a switch activator problem. The switch activator's coming on out, and the guy that owns it had the cable tie it closed, which is dangerous with a rotating disc and 2 batteries. It's kind of a bit of a nightmare, but something's broke off this part of the scenario. But I have an idea how to fix it. Yes, being the 21st century budget MacGyver that I am, I have come up with a cunning plan. There seems to be a bit broke off or a bit missing, and this plastic bit here holds the switch down. I'll just get this a little bit closer so you can see that little bit there. So I have a plan, and the plan involves these 2 things here. We call them cable ties, in the USA they call them zip ties. So the plan is as follows. We need something to stop the lever coming back, but still allowing the movement so it actually can engage the switch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed, there's a little slot here, I'm going to feed this tie through here, and at the same time use this, the shape of the tie to on there. So what I need to do is get something to keep it in this position. So I'm going to try and cut a bit of plastic, glue it in alongside that tie, and hold it in position, still allowing it to move up and down. So that's why I'm going to use another one of these, and my knife with a brand new blade in it. So I'm going to cut this here. Try and fashion it into a bit of a shape to push in that little slot. The beauty about this is I get as many goes at this as I want. These parts are made out of these ties, so until my couple of 100 ties are gone, I can work away at this. So I need to glue that down, cut it off and glue it down. We'll also give it a little melt with the soldering iron, just to seal it in. Feel smooth in the hand now. Good. Let's give it a go now. That's pretty good. It's not coming out. It's just coming out far enough. That's excellent. Hey, we've got the DCH273 SDS machine on the bench. This one's going, on the face of it looks alright, but it's got a subtle little issue that I'm going to show you. keeps dropping the bit, which is suboptimal to say the least. To show you what's causing this to drop these here, I'm going to have to remove this chuck to show you the offending item. All I need to remove is the chuck cover. And as you can see, this chuck cover, if I can get a good angle on it, you see that's all rough on there and uneven. That's wear. If I show you one that's a second hand one that's good, see it's nice and smooth on there. And what that ring that's smooth on there is doing for you, usually if it's right, is holding this ball on and holding the butt and the chuck. So this one's past its sell by date, but lucky enough the spares box has come to the rescue once again, and I have a second hand one that's perfectly fine. So I'll just stick it on and we should have perfect results. And build tighter already. So now for the moment of truth. Yeah, all's good. Well, today we've got these two Flexvolt batteries. They both have the same issue. Both are only able to charge to 2 bars. Both power 18 volt machines, alright. You know, like so. Whatever. But if you put them in a Flexvolt, you get nothing. So what caused this to happen? Well, 2 different things. It's the same fault, but 2 different things. I used one of these on a faulty Flexvolt machine to test it before repair. And the other one I used to jumpstart a smaller battery. And the same issue occurred. I'm going to pull the lid off them now and show you what that is. With the side covers off, you can see quite clearly there's a slight discoloration here on both of them, and that's due to an overheat or an overload, like I explained earlier. And if we turn these over, you can see that's quite a bad pop there she got. You see that connection's broke. See, there's a connection here and a connection here. That's actually put under pressure, and that has popped all together. And the same on the 6 amp. This one has popped again. So what you can do is solder in a little bit of nickel strip and get your battery going again. This is nickel strip. This is what I use to fix batteries and assemble batteries. And what we're going to do is bridge this connection, and that'll fix it. The best thing about this nickel strip is it's very easily soldered onto. It just loves the solder. It licks it up. There you are. That's all there is to it. So that's the 2 of them soldered up now. I just have to pop the sides back on and try them on the tool again. So here's the 2 back together. I'm going to just try in this Flexvolt saw again to see how we've done. 6 amp. Yeah, that's all good. 9 amp. See, pull the trigger here. That's all good too. Today we've got this Bosch GSH 5CE. The lights are on but nobody's home. This one's about 5 months old, believe it or not. Date of manufacture 2021, but it's not old. It's either one of two things with these. It's either the brushes or the actual lead. I'm trying to manipulate the lead to see if it'll go, but no. I'm guessing it's a lead, if I'm honest. The only thing to do is have a little look, so I'll unplug this and get into it as soon as I can here. If you look at the brushes there is very minimal wear on them. Very minimal wear on them. There's no wears off there in the brushes. So what I'm going to do to see if it fixes it, I could do a continuity test, but I think if I just cut a bit off the cable, I would say it's usually up at this part of the cable's issue. I just cut a bit off the cable and reconnect it. There's the bit to be removed. It's no longer part of the plan. Let's see if we can get this going now. Today we've got this Milwaukee vacuum cleaner, but it's not working. We put in a new fully charged battery. I'll flick the switch. The top here, we get absolutely nothing, and I'm going to show you why that is. With this thing split open, you can clearly see what's wrong. You see that circuit board's fried. There's not much to it. There's a battery connector, a circuit board going up to a switch, and a motor. We could check if the motor's okay. We could probably disconnect it from the board and connect it to a battery directly. The motor's fine. So checking the continuity of the switch, have to go to the underside of the switch with the probes, and there's nothing coming through. Nothing coming through that switch, so the switch is gone as well. She burnt the switch too. So this Milwaukee vac is extensively damaged. The only good component we have really is the motor. So can we do anything with it? Well, I'm willing to try. The problem with that, we could probably bypass the board and we can get a switch, but bypassing the board would have its issues of main issue I'd be concerned about is low voltage cutoff for the batteries. It can over discharge these and then they won't charge in your charger and you have to boost the voltage with another battery. You don't want to be doing that all the time. So I've had another idea. I could replace the switch with this one. This one's near enough. And instead of the circuit board, I'm going to put in this low voltage cutoff. So I can set this to cut off at 17 volts. When this goes down to 17 volts, it'll stop the power coming from here and preserve the life of your battery. I'll just remove the board and cut the wires off, and that'll get the ball rolling here. The reason why I'm doing this, I might have neglected to say, but these components are no longer available, and even if they were available, they're much more than the vacs worth to buy new. So it does make sense to fix them the right way, to get a new board and a new switch. Even if the board had been away, it was still too expensive. I mean to say, if the switch had been okay, it still wouldn't have been viable. So the voltage goes on here and it comes out here. So what I have to do is put the positive on here and the negative on the other side. Yep. What's the voltage on now? Positive voltage out, I'm going to take that up to the switch, and then it'll go back down again and go directly into the motor. Whereas the negative voltage out will go directly into the motor on its own. This out, this going directly into the switch, or sorry, directly into the motor. The positive will go through the switch. That's it all connected up now. Yeah. I'll have to secure that little protection board there, that little voltage dropper board. Hopefully that one screw will hold it in position there. With an M18 battery and setting the voltage to cut off at 16.9, so when this battery gets down to 16.9, the voltage will stop, and that'll still be chargeable voltage, so you won't over discharge your battery. That's the idea behind it. So I must put this all together and see how she's going. Here we are, that's her all back together now, and the wee switch don't look too bad. It's not as industrial looking as the Milwaukee one, but it'll have to do. So we'll open her up and give her a try now. Don't know about you, but I'm calling that fact. Today we've got another 4 amp Dewalt battery, and I'm doing this video to show you why sometimes the jump start doesn't work. This 4 amp battery is showing only 9.6 volts, so that's very, very low. So we're going to try the usual jump start method, but before we dive in with that, I'm going to show you it not go. No. One power draw, won't even put on the LED. Charger just puts on a fully charged light, as if it's fully charged. Usually I recommend that you open the battery and test the individual cells before you do the jump start, but I'm going to just dive straight in this time for the sake of this video. And the worst sign we had there is there's no spark, and usually when you get no spark, that means the jump start's not going to work, and it's not doing anything for you because you have dead banks of cells somewhere in the pack. So we just got to open it now and see what can be done, if anything. That's it out of the pack now. Try and do a little individual cell volt check, well, individual banks of cells anyway. .2 volts, that's low. 3.59, that's good. 3.6, that's good. 3.6, that's good. 3.6, that's good. It looks like this end bank of cells has given up the ghost. I've pulled these two cells out of the pack and I've checked the voltage on them. It's even worse than I thought. There's basically nothing in them. There's nothing in either of them, so them's for the junk box, you know. However, I have these two, which are about the same voltage as the ones in the pack, so I could put them in just to see. The circuit board could still be away, but I'll know better when I fit these to the pack, so you can get it to charge. with all the cells connected up, we're getting 18 volts, which is not bad. So we'll put it together and see if anything comes of it. Working the tool anyway. This charging. Yep, good job. So we'll leave that for a little while and see if it takes a full charge. Right, that's fully charged now. So we'll take it off and quickly put the voltmeter on it. We're hoping for over 20 volts here. So cross your fingers, everyone. Yeah, that's perfect. 20.2 volts is what we have. Oh, 20.2, that's right. Anyhow, the battery indicator's not working. We replaced the two cells and it seems to have done the job just fine.